Jazzy Red Talk Show, and I'm your host, Jazzy Red. Someone had told me about someone's house getting set on fire, and Lord behold, I found out that I knew these people here. This house, we're going to show it to you a little later on now. We just going to do an interview now. This house was set on fire, the back part of it, and we got a lot of smoke damage, but we're going to get their name, and Jazz is going to be asking for some help. We're going to need some help to rebuild this. If all of us pull together, I've got a lot of people been on my show, but we're going to talk about that a little later on. And we're going to see about trying to get some help for their mother's house, this grandmother's house here that had lived here for a long time across from the LaFleur High School. This is a historical house. We need to put this back together. I'm going to come over and bring them the mic, and we're going to let them tell you about the situation. All right, what's your name there?
My name is Jack Mccall, Jr. A lot of y'all out there know me. Come out here and help me. Come on, help me. I'm letting my sister give y'all a talk and let you talk to her too.
Hi, my name is Michelle Mccall. I'm the daughter of Katie and Jack S. Mccall, the first house in Tomerville. My mother was a mentor for Tomerville. She helped gain the park for all the children. She helped gain the pool for all the children. She even helped gain LaFleur High School for the community. They first wanted to make it all white school, but she told them, no, sir. She said, our community come first. And finally it became a magnet school where kids had to be shipped, and it was black and white. It did come segregated to all as one. And I am trying to put back what was taken from. I supposed to had moved in on the 19th of December. The devil stopped in, and he did something on December the 20th at 3:05 in the morning. It's a hurting feeling when you lose something, when you're trying to gain something. So I'm asking for each and every one of you have played here, have done everything my daddy has to do with the community. The first house that went up in Tomerville as an upstairs house. The first house that stood here that we could see way over to Old Sage Street. The first house that we could see all the way clearly to Booker T. Washington. That would number just land and trees. Until all of a sudden, homes started being built in this neighborhood, and my mama stepped in to help all the people in this neighborhood to get somewhere to stay. After the while, there was just only one white lady stayed in this neighborhood, and her name was Miss Mccall. She stayed 3 doors down, and every day my mama used to make me go down there and take care of Miss Mccall. There was no color. There was no thing about she's old and old, just leave her alone. No, it wasn't that. We became as a neighborhood. We became as a family. I remember when the park first came up, we had 2 swings in that park. And all the time used to be me and my friends take a turn playing in that swing. And my mama said, look, y'all gonna stop using my water. Then she started saying, we're gonna get a pool. And just as soon as it's sure, the pool came. And all the kids in the neighborhood, all from off O'Connor, off of Donald, off of Draper Street, Gibson Street, all around everywhere, everybody was in that pool. And they always come here to Mr. Kate, Mr. Jack, and Miss Katie's house to eat. And also I love those pear trees in the back. There was nothing about this house that the kids didn't like about this house. So I'm asking y'all to please help us to bring this foundation back to where it was. And I'm also asking y'all to pray for our family. You know, sometimes they say, don't ask everybody to pray for you because they may pray for you wrong. But my thing, I was always told, my mama say, no matter what they pray for, God always has the answer. And I thank her for that final thought that she gave me before she left here in 2015. A lot of us here are still trying to get things together. I've also had some people that come in, that's stepping in, that's going to help with no fee. And I'm thankful for those carpenters. I'm so thankful for those wall builders or whatever you want to call it that's going to come and help us. I am so thankful for y'all. Keep asking me when are we going to start. So they always say you could build a church with 2 men, but you can build a home with one mind. And I'm thankful for that. And God bless to everyone. Thank you.
Don't move now. Don't move. I just want the mic. Let me tell you something. Now, I know that we can help her. Because both of them, I know we can help get this house back together because we helped build a house for humanity, home habitat of humanity, something like that. It was about maybe 4 years ago. And we seen walls go up in one day. They taught us how to build these frames on the ground, nail the nails in the wood, put it together. He was doing the measuring, the guy was, but he taught us how to nail and put all this stuff together. And we seen walls in one day. It was up on that foundation. So I know that we can do it. We've got to give them some help. Now, y'all know how Jazz do it. We're going to show you the house. We're going to show you the damage. And if any of you strong men out there from carpenters, roofers, sheetrock people, whatever we can do. Because Jazzy ain't good on a lot of stuff, but I'm good at working over. So I can try to help and get some sheetrock and stuff and some wood because we need to get started so she can get back in our house. We need to get started. I'm going to do some show and tell. Hold that mic. Tell them God bless. Tell them in a minute we're coming back.
In a minute, we're coming back. Y'all have to forgive me if you see tears in my eyes. Like I said, it's a hard feeling. But right now, I'm in a joyful feeling because someone stepped in to help me. That's Jazzy Red. And I want to thank you, Jazzy Red, for stepping in and helping us to bring this back to where it's supposed to be.
That's all right. It's going to be tears of joy in a little bit. The devil meant it for wrong, but we going to show us for good. Her mom did too much in the community for us not to help her get this house back together. And it's bad when you just take something from somebody. You know, you take somebody from, you take away something, but you got somewhere to lay your head. Huh? You got somewhere to lay your head, but you're going to burn somebody else out. But that's all right. God going to whoop you. We ain't worried about you. We ain't worried about you. We going on. We finna help build this house. Okay, we finna show you what we working with. All right. Tell them we'll be back in a minute.
We'll be right back in a minute.
Jazzy Red Talk Show. Y'all know I like doing show and tell. This is the top part of this roof and the back part of this house. This is where the fire was, mostly in the back. But as you're going to see, it's a lot of smoke damage. But I want you to see this. This is what was set on fire, the back part of the house. And it just caved in. And this is the patio part. They had to bolt it up because you know how that is. You got to bolt stuff up. You'll see some of the stuff fell back here. When we get to the back, you'll see it. But the back, look at here. Look here. Huh? That's somebody's house here. That's somebody's house that they grew up here. Babies crawled on the floor here. And the mom was a great person in the community, a mentor. I'm dropping it down now. Now I'm letting you see what's burned up. All right? This is a nice house. It should be a historical house. We got to bring it back. We all can pull together and help. It don't take money all the time. You got a skill, we'll set up a day and we come here and we start breaking down stuff and getting stuff up out of here. It's a way it can be did. And I know it. We're asking for help, white people, black people, Asians. When we did it with Home for Habitat, it was everybody. We're going to show you some more parts of the house. All right, Jazzy Red, we're showing you the side here. This is just the side that they had to bolt up. Now, okay, as you can see, there's brick here. All right? That's the side of the house. Now we're going to show you the front. I'm going to show why the daughter tell you something here. This is the front porch.
I need to go to the front. This is the front porch of 657 Donald. That number you see up there, my dad made that. My dad did so much to this house. First of all, this house was the insured house that where people had to come and pay for their lot in order to build. And my dad worked so hard, and he came in and he bought from up under the company and bought this house. But you can't buy houses at a reasonable cheap prices these days. And what he did was he added and added and added until he got it well done to make my mother and all of us kids comfortable. This is the front porch. It used to be a swing right here to my right. Then it also used to be nice chairs and flower where you could see the flower pots around in the front. All of that, the porch just stood out just so beautifully. Yes, and also the walkway right here. My brother Jack and my other brothers, they built that by hand, which you don't see sidewalks like that leading to a home anymore. Wow. So it's no slab. This is brick by brick. Yes.
Wow. We finna show you the other side of the house, and then we'll get to the back. Because you see up here where we say it's smoke damage in the front part of the house. Jazzy, peace out. Jazzy Talk Show. If you can see this in this yard, wow. I mean, you can tell that it was some love here. Those are things for vines, you know, like tomato vines and scuppalon. You did scuppalon. I'm looking like, wow. And you can tell that she loved flowers. The yard was did so nice, man. I mean, wow. Wow, we can bring this back, and it'll be a project that we could put on CNN. We could just let them know that everybody pulling together. We're going to show you some more of the house. Tell them about this.
This is the back part of the house. Right here. This is the washing.
Tell them about this up here.
Oh, upstairs. This is upstairs right here, where you can see where the window was to the bathroom. The frame is still there. This was the bathroom. There was a room behind that, and then there was another room on the other side, and it also had a patio on it.
And it had a patio.
And it had a patio on it. Yes, it did. And I used to sit out there, and my mom used to sit out there. It was just sitting out. We could just like still see way over to the other side or wherever. It was real beautiful, and I'm just really hurt right now.
This is going to show you some of the rubbish at the bottom that they
yes. Yeah. This is the bottom part here where it had all fell down. We had to put some to the side over here. Where the house had caught on fire, they had to jerk it down right here. Okay. And all this is what you see that's come from upstairs. Wow. All of that. So we have to be careful because it's still got nails going around.
Okay, you got nails. Wow.
And an antique flower pot. Been there for years.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, antique. Yes, and also the step is made of marble.
Wow.
Yes, it's made of old marble, which the marble came from down the bay from old houses.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Old houses. My mom, dad didn't believe going by on the stove. They wanted everything antique.
God, dog.
Everything antique. Right. That's what it was built on.
We're gonna go around the side now. Y'all see the devastation on a fire and what effect it take on your life and everything. But we can help bring this back.
This is the side of the house. This is the wash and dryer area room where you see the 2 ply boards is. It was 2 windows here, which the roof that was on top of it just melted all down into that area. It set the dryer on fire, the wash and dryer, the deep freezer where I had all food in it, getting ready to come home. And the tar was so thick you could see it splashed up against the walls here. And it was just really bad. We're going to go to the back. Oh. About this table. This is an antique table. You can't find one nowhere like that. It was made with the marbles and also just a steel rim. Wow. My dad took off the boat. That's what that was. It took off the boat and made something, and did some mold on that and made it a table to go out here for the barbecue pit.
Okay, I see you got another flower pot.
Yes, flowers everywhere around here.
Now we're going to show you some old devastation. Go ahead.
This is the back of the house. This is where the upstairs, which is the back, had 2 windows. Wow. This is the upstairs where it collided and everything collided here to the back. And the firemen caught it before it went all the way towards the back, towards someone else's home. Wow. The fire was started in the corner of a house, set clothes on fire where things was taken out before then. Yes, but this is the back of the house and all of that's gone. What you see flower right there that was growing. So
Yeah, I see that.
yeah, we're gonna bring all the flowers back. All of that is coming back. They always say flower is the beauty of the eye.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I touch them, they die. I don't even be home to water me, let alone a flower.
I love them. I love them. I got flowers at the house, and I just can't wait to bring them home.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but this is a devastation here.
Yeah, it is.
It's heartbreaking.
Wow.
Yes, it's heartbreaking.
We'll bring it back.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
We'll be back in a minute.
This is the flagpole, y'all. There's no flagpole that was up in Tomerville. My dad got out there and put a flagpole up. Every flag that has went through this family has been hung high and also been let low. I'm quite sure you know what let low means. That means death in the family. We'll send honors. They will hang it high. High means for peace, joy, and most of all, love. So this is the flagpole of Katie and Jack Mccall that was put up at 657 Donner Street for the neighborhood.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know, fellas, y'all used to call me Fort Mccall. So you know who it is, Jack Mccall Jr. You know it.
Godly, we're gonna be back in a minute.
This is my mother, Katie H. McCall. She graduated when she was 47 years old. She stopped everything she was doing to take care of her family and the community. I congratulate her. Love you, Mom. This is my dad, Jack S. McCall, Sr. to your left, and my brother, Jack Jr. McCall to your right. This was their last passage together on the ship before he passed in 1992. I love both of them. Miss my dad dearly, and I appreciate everything that he's have done for the McCall family and the community. Love you, Dad. This is the house that Jack and Katie built. This is before the tragic of the burning. The upstairs, the downstairs. This is the house that stood on Donner Street, 657, across from the park that everybody loved to come and play. Ready? This is the whole house, y'all. You see where they tore all the stuff down, all the scrubbers to the side. This is the beginning of Jack and Katie McCall's home on 657 Donald Street. The front and the back and the upstairs. You even see the balcony. Yes.
Hey, Jazzy Red Talk Show. We want to let you know a little something about their parents. We sitting on the front porch on swing. Front porch on swing. That's what they call it.
Yes. My father, Jack S. McCall Sr., was the first black man that sold peanuts downtown.
In a big toilet tissue box.
In a big toilet tissue box strapped around his shoulder, selling peanuts. And it started off with 10 cents a bag. And he's called him, hey, Mr. Jack, Mr. Peanut Man. Yes, that was my father. My father also was the first black man that worked at Pullman's Bakery. Yes, he was the first black man that worked at Pullman's Bakery. When Piccadilly owner came in and saw him working at Pullman Bakery, came and gave my dad another job offer. And then also, my dad left there. He went to Piccadilly. He went to Morrison. He's the best cook you ever wanted to see. I guess a lot of people say that's why I get my cooking from. I learned from my dad. And my mother, Katie McCall, she was the first black woman to have a Boy Scout. She was the first woman that had the Cub Scouts going in the neighborhood for all the boys. But I still was there. It didn't matter. They called me a tomboy. I still was there with the boys and enjoyed all of that. And I tell you, my mother also, Katie McCall, was the first black woman, the member of St. Peter Baptist Church, that had all the history, all the way down to the rolling skate, to the pumping water, to the toilets, to everything you name they used to use back in slavery days. My mother have it here in this house. So it's in the garage and it is safe. Thank you. Some things are not to be let go. So go ahead and eye over this, and he had his hand covered with it. So he also put it to what could be done, and he also put to what couldn't be taken. And I'm thankful for that. And another thing I want to tell y'all is that my parents, to me, are awesome. When they saw a homeless person, my dad used to get up every morning. He would cook them oysters and grits. And guess what? He'd get out and go to the dumpsters. And the people at the stores used to leave good food. And my daddy used to get out here, and my mom used to get out here and feed all these homeless people that had no food. The food was so good and fresh that he was taking it around to the neighborhood, and nobody turned it down, none whatsoever. It was always said, "Mr. Jack, don't you forget me next week?" And he'll say, "Don't worry about it. I'll see you the next day." And that he did until the day he left this earth and God called him home from a mission. Wow. He was feeding people, and he also was clothing people all overseas. We couldn't give no clothes away. We couldn't throw no clothes away. My dad took all them clothes, put them on the ship, and he gave it to all those kids across the world. He would buy rice and beans and have it on the ship and had them to unload it to feed Africa, to feed these BFNEs, agents, whatever it was. Like I said, color didn't matter. It didn't matter to him. He did it. He did his did. But he wasn't always in church because he was a working man. But I guarantee you, his dues was paid up.
Wow.
And when he come in church, some reason, when nobody was sitting in his spot, when he sit to the right, when he come, it was like everybody would stand up and just clap for my dad.
Yeah.
And I am a proud daughter to be of Jack S. Mccall Sr. and Katie Mccall. Love y'all.
Let me tell y'all something. We've got to come out and help. This will be a project for Jazzy because I know that we can help. I know we can. If we all pull together, if everybody pull together, we can rebuild this house. Now, for her mom and pop to be done did all they can do in that community to help everybody, I feel we owe them at least that. We owe them at least that. Let this be a success story where even 5 and 10 will come out and say, wow, look at them helping in the community. Yeah. We need a phone number, sister. We need a phone number. God, I know you're dead.
My phone number is 251-652-5821. 652-5821. And I also want to let y'all know that my dad also let Mr. Gunter, the store next door was Gunter's Food Market, use some of the property to put his sign up in order for the store to be open for the neighborhood. My dad never gave him a problem about where he had to pull in the truck. Didn't have enough room. Everything was shared in these years of time for Tomerville. Wow. And Mr. Gunter was the only white man that had the store here in Tomerville. Wow. And you know what? I love these people. I really do. I love these people. They're gone, but they are not gone forgotten. Want to say anything, bro?
No, I'm good.
About your dad?
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, he's. We're all having our moment here, but you know, it's good that all the stuff that my mama did. I'm sad because I went through the house to see could I find everything that my mom had cut out the paper where she was being honored for everything that she have done and did for Tomerville. She and Floretta Fortune fixed the first kindergarten school here in Tomerville, which is now the Community Action. Wow. And I was the first one in kindergarten. Had to open up the doors for all the other kids to come in. So please, stop by, ride by. You can welcome to see the house and look at the damage. Wow. And also, I really appreciate y'all love. I appreciate your time. But most of all, I'm thankful for all the prayers that you have given us. Thank you.
All right, Jazzy Red. Y'all know I can't leave without saying peace out. We've got to give them some help, okay? So Jazz asking for some help for them. And their number have been running across the screen. You probably calling them. And when they call you, write their number down because a lot of folk going to be calling. Yeah. And that way you won't miss no calls. Because Jazz has been on a long time. 7 years on TV. I want to thank y'all for letting me come into your home. But this is what it's about. I want to help. We've got to help each other. If we don't help each other, where they going to get help from? It's something you can do. It's something you can do. And once we start building, you ladies can fix lunch and bring us some water. But I'm saying, we going to do this. We going to do it. And if y'all have to, y'all going to see Jazz with her, because I got a hammer and I got a nail. I don't do no roof, because I did my roof. It didn't work.
I also want to let y'all know that I went to the Red Cross. I went to the Habitat. And someone used my name. And they stopped the funding. And the Red Cross shut their door on me.
That's forgery. That's all right. That's forgery. Somebody gonna use her name and she can't get no help. Cause I know a lot of people would have said, well, why you didn't go to Home for Habitat? Don't cry. You ain't gonna cry. They gonna call you. Jazzy Red, cause I'm getting messed up myself. This gonna be all right. Don't cry. Jazzy Red, we love you. Wave at him, Jack. All right, comfort your sister there. Peace out. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know a lady just passed by while I had the camera, and she said, my mama used to work in that house. Then she said, my mama used to work in that house. She said, I spent a lot of nights in that house. Wow. She said, I spent a lot of nights in that house. Y'all see people are remembering this. We've got to give them some help. Number going across the screen. Jazzy Red, we love you. Peace out. Jazzy Red Talk Show, and we're here with important dignitary. I've got Jamar. See, I said that right that time, didn't I? I got Jamar here. We up at E&J Auto. He gonna tell you about the business. Then we gonna do a little show and tell today.
Good morning. We're at E&J Auto Repair. We're at 2251 Costa Ritas. Telephone number is 251-479-1317. We also do mechanic work, body work, a variety of things, whatever you want to try to do to the vehicles. We're going to do a little show and tell this morning.
All right, today we're going to show you how to hook up a battery cable. Jazzy Red seen somebody that didn't know how to hook up one. So if you don't know how to hook up one, you're going to learn today. Talk to them a little bit about it, Jamar, and then I'm going to set it down.
All right, this morning we're going to go over hooking up your battery cables, also trying to jump off a vehicle. It's not good to really jump off a vehicle, but what you really have to do is you really have to be careful. You have to make sure your negative is on your negative, your positive on your positive. Normally your cables, they be red and black as far as your jumper cables. These are a set of jumper cables right here. All right, you see you got your red, and then also you have your black. All right, in that aspect, your red is going to be your positive, your black is going to be your negative. On top of your battery, also, sometimes they have the little covers. Sometimes they have the little covers.
Come over and hold the mic.
Okay, sometimes they...
Make sure I got you. We want to show you this live on Jazzy Red Talk Show, and you just going to see his hands, but he finna show you something. Yeah, I'm gonna hold it. You go
okay,
ahead.
sometimes you have to. They have your red covers. This is a positive side. This is your negative side. All right. If you don't have the red covers or the black covers over your battery post, what you can do is look on your battery. On your battery is ID'd. It's got a positive sign and it's got a negative sign. Your positive sign is always hot. Your negative sign is always your ground. Okay. So make sure you hook up those batteries properly, especially when you're installing one. Make sure you put the positive on positive and negative on negative. Other than that, you'll probably wind up blowing your computer or either shorting out something in the vehicle.
Okay, show them how to put it on there. We're showing you live now.
On this particular vehicle, we don't have another battery to jump it off, so what we're going to do is we're going to clamp both ends. Well, one end to the other, so that way it won't ground or it won't touch. All right, this is your positive. Your positive is going to go on your positive. Your negative,
it has a cross on it.
Mm-hmm.
The positive has a cross.
Right, and your negative has the subtraction sign. All right, and that's going to be your ground. The black is your ground. That's the proper way of hooking up a battery. In the process, just like on the other vehicle, you have a positive and a negative. So you'll take the black, put it on the negative. The red, you'll put it on the positive.
What'll happen if we don't do it right?
Most likely you probably end up shorting out some, blowing fuses, frying your computer. the vehicle won't probably is not going to start again until it's repaired, and that's going to be a lot of money to fix all that electrical. So make sure you do it correct.
And on the old school, they pop. It popped on my old truck.
Yeah.
Put it on that route.
Yeah.
Fire. All right, I'm going to put it back on your face there. Tell them it's best to have a jumper.
A jump box.
Yeah.
A jump box, or either if you don't know what you're doing, make sure you give somebody a call. Just give them a call, roadside service, or, you know, somebody that can come over and kind of assist you on somebody that can come over and assist you on jumping that vehicle off. So that way, you know, it'll continue to run properly, and, you know, make sure you get your batteries replaced. Make sure you get your alternators checked. We're at E&J Auto Repair, Paint and Body. We're at 2251 Costa Ritas. Telephone number is 251-479-1317.
And if they need their battery checked, can they come?
Yeah, come by and we'll check them out too.
All right. Jazzy Red, say peace out.
Peace out.
Jazzy Red Talk Show, and I'm your host, Jazzy Red, and we've got the chef boy on. We're here at Ayana's Kitchen, and we're going to let him tell you a little bit about his business, but then you know Jazzy Red likes show and tell. We're going to show you something. All right, what's your name there, young man?
My name is Ronald Minifield. I'm the owner and chef of Ayana's Kitchen, located at 1330 Spring Hill Avenue, Suite A, Mobile, Alabama 36604. The phone number here at the restaurant is 251-607-6598. Been cooking for a very long time and thought we'd just open up a business so we can bring that down home grandma cooking back to the neighborhood and back to people that really appreciate food. And we love what we do here. Is what we do. We do it for fun. We do it because we love it. We do it a lot because we love it. Been cooking since I was 9 years old. Was able to finally get my restaurant up and going. Thought I'd do it. I named it after my first daughter, and she actually loves to cook also. So the phone number here, you can do a call-in orders here, 251-607-6598. Right here at 1330 Spring Hill Avenue, Suite A. That, once again, that's Ayana's Kitchen, AYUNAH Kitchen, where we do great food from the soul, from our hearts.
All right, when we come back, we hadn't showed you something. See, we got something we're going to show you that you hadn't seen. Jazzy Red, we love you. Peace out. All right, he's going to tell you why I put the light on it. We're going to do the fish first. This is the fish. All right. What's that?
Okay, this is our fish. It's hand breaded too. It's cooked to order. Right now we have, I switch up the fish every now and then. Right now we have the swai, and it's hand breaded, fried to order, always fresh, and it's served with either home fries, crinkle cut fries, or choose from any other outsides. The home fries are just like the ones you make at home. Take the potato, cut it up, fry it up, good tender potato, nice taste, nice texture. Everybody that's from the old school know about those fries because they're the best ones. That's swai.
Wow. All right, let's get the next.
And the next dish is going to be is a simple breakfast. But this one here has salmon patties. This one has salmon patties with it. Wow. And it has cheese grits and toast. The salmon patties, making them order. It's not like anything frozen or anything like that. You got to get that salmon patty patted out yourself. Get a good crisp to it.
Now, this was a special order. They didn't want eggs.
Yes, they are. It normally comes with eggs, but they didn't want any eggs. So they got 2 salmon patties, the cheese grits with the butter and the toast with it. Very delicious, very seasoned perfectly. Even the grits, creamy grits. You know, nothing's out of the bag. Everything's fresh. Everything's authentic. Just great food that we love to do here at Ayana's Kitchen. We run a different special every day of the week. Today is going to be seared fish over rice with another vegetable or another side for $8.95. Comes with drink and bread. Every day I also run what we call here a poor man deal, where anybody that can afford, you can pick up change to get this poor man deal. I have everything from bologna sandwiches to pork chop sandwich, or I even do a bowl of beans and rice for $1. I mean, or just try to make everything affordable, because sometimes people just don't have it, and we're able to make sure that they're able to, or at least get something here at Ayana's Kitchen. When I say $1 menu type deal, it's real food off $1 menu. So it's not anything fake. It's all fresh. It's still all fresh, all authentic. We love to do what we do here at Ayana's Kitchen. And we have everything from drinks to Kool-Aid to lemonade. We do tea. We do all types of things. Anything that we can think of, we try to do it here at Ayana's Kitchen.
Give me that phone number again.
Phone number here at Ayana's Kitchen is 251-607-6598. We're opening up Monday through Friday. I'm getting ready to change the hours probably from 8 to 8. Because that'll still get your breakfast crowd in, and it'll get the crowd that comes in, after work and everything like that. So we should be extending the hours within the next couple weeks. And then Saturdays, we're going to probably do the 12 to 5 still, or 12 to 8, just to get those people that are out on Saturdays. We want to extend the hours to let more people try, because a lot of people, I don't want you rushing through traffic and trying to get here before we close. I want to stay open a little bit longer so you guys can enjoy what we have here at Ayana's.
All right. Y'all see it there. That's Jazzy Red fish plate. Jazzy Red, look at that. I'm looking at that food, so I'm about to knock the camera over. Jazzy Red, we love you. Come out to Ayana's. Peace. Jazzy Red talk show. I'm in here making my bishop laugh in here. Look, which the situation we finna talk about is very serious. He owns a funeral home, a Moore funeral home. He's going to tell you his name, phone number, and the address, but he's going to tell you when you have a loved one that passed, best thing, what is best to do. They don't know nothing about it. Okay, just talk like somebody don't know nothing about it. Give them your name.
Hello, I'm Bishop Cornelius W. Woods. I'm the president here at Memorial Funeral Home at 1302 St. Stephen's Road in Pritchard, Alabama. What I want to talk to you about today is we're running across a lot of problems with families that don't make a wise decision at death. And once they have signed their loved ones over to a funeral establishment, and you get there and you find out that you can't afford it, then funeral homes make it almost impossible for you to transfer your loved one to someone else that will assist you. The best thing that a person can do is to go and shop around. You hate to say shop around, but check several places and find out the prices, because once you sign your loved one over to a funeral home, it's almost impossible to get that loved one from that funeral home. Some places prices are ridiculously high. Well, my friends, I want everybody to know here in Mobile and surrounding counties that when you choose a funeral home, you need to know something about the funeral home you're sending your loved one to. You need to know about prices. You need to know about cemeteries. There are so many cemeteries in Mobile, and you need to know whether it's perpetual care, whether it's not. And what I mean by perpetual care is that they maintain it. They keep the grass cut. 80 years ago, 100 years ago, most of us didn't know what perpetual care was. We didn't know there was such thing as company keeping up the cemetery. And so what happened was our parents and our grandparents went to the cemetery, they cut the grass, and that was fine. But now as the young people are growing up, they really don't sort of care about the cemeteries no more. So what happens is cemeteries, a lot of cemeteries are overgrown, such as Oak Lawn Cemetery is overgrown, and a lot of people call me and say, well, you own it, but what people need to realize is that I can't own your loved one. I can't own your mother. I can't own your father. And if you went to a funeral home, whether it's Memorial or whether it's Hodge or whether it's Christian Benevolent, you bought a grave space. You purchased a space. And when you purchased that space, that meant that you own that property. And it's up to you. And in one case with Oak Lawn Cemetery, they gave people warranty deeds. Well, if anybody know anything about houses, when you buy a house, they give you a warranty deed. When they give you a warranty deed, that means you own that piece of property. So what happens is you're the owner of that land. It's up to you to maintain it. Well, a lot of people have died and gone on, no family left. Well, the property is just left there. So it wasn't perpetual care, and it's up to you to maintain your loved one's grave. You know, my family is from Andalusia, Alabama, and Camden, Alabama. And what I do is every year I send money to the church to help maintain the cemetery, because I know that I probably never will go there, but my ancestors are there. And we sort of make sure that some things are there. So we need to realize that in Mobile there are several perpetual care cemeteries, and they're going to be maintained for life. But when you paid $25 for 6 grave spaces, that's not perpetual care. When you paid $100 for 6 grave spaces, it's impossible for that to be perpetual care, because that wasn't enough money just even to bury a person. When you select a funeral home, most people don't know. You say, well, I'm going to Woods Funeral Home because they have better caskets. Guess what? Most of us buy caskets from the same people. So it's just like going to Dillard's and going to D.H. Homes, going to Walmart, you know, just a different name that's there. But you need to make sure that you can afford the place that you go to when you select a place for your loved one. And if you do that, you won't cry twice. You know, you're crying because your loved one is gone, and you're crying when you get there and somebody give you this price of $8,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 for a funeral, and you know you can't afford it. What are you going to do then? You're going to say, well, I'm going to go to Memorial, I'm going to go to Levitt, I'm going to go to Smalls, I'm going to go somewhere to make sure that I can bury my loved one. But once that person has been accepted at a funeral home, you got to pay them for picking that body up. You got to pay them for embalming that body. You got to pay them for storing that body. And you say, well, I don't think it's fair that I should pay him, but if a man worked, you need to pay him. And that's because you didn't check the prices beforehand. Don't let anybody fool you to send your loved one to a place until you check it out to make sure that you can afford that person or that place. Now, there are a few of these little $300 policies that are left. Most of those businesses are out of business. Those policies our mothers put us in a long time ago, those people are out of business now. So $300 won't bury anybody. 150 of folks say, oh, I got a vault. And when they get here and they sit at my desk and they say, well, my mama had a vault policy and it was $100. You can't buy a vault for $100 nowadays. Wow. You could buy one in 1960, 1970, but you can't buy a vault now for $100. They used to have a policy that said that you would get the casket, the grave, the car, a suit, or a swirl, the flower, for $300. Now you know, and I know, you can't buy a whole funeral for $300. Most of those policies are not worth the paper they're written on. Wow. Because time has lapsed. So what you need to realize today is that you got to keep up with the price. The average funeral costs $7,000. You see it on television all the time. Some establishments, you can't go in if you don't have $7,000 or $10,000. Ain't no sense you even going inside the building, because they don't change their prices to help you. Some people are not community minded. Okay. They don't care. And I can't fault a person for not being community minded. Everybody isn't like you, Jazzy Red, community minded and want to help somebody. Some people are in there for the money, and all they want is the money, and they don't care anything about your mama being dead, your daddy being dead. They want the MONEY. Wow. You can consider that. And sometimes folks say, oh, well, I want them, I want horses and buggies, and I want this. Come on. If you know you don't have a $4,000, $3,000, or $5,000, you know you can't get a horse and buggy. That's something that costs a lot of money. Sometimes people say, I want fancy cars. You have to pay for fancy cars. You know, whether you can get anything you want. You know, I can sell you a gold casket if you can afford it. Okay. You know, It depends. But most of the people that I find out that spends a lot of money, Jazzy, for a funeral are people that can't afford it.
Wow.
Most people that spend a lot of money. I had a lady that came in my office, and I'm in business, but I'm a preacher also. And I'm concerned about people's souls. I'm concerned about people's condition. Lady came in my office. She couldn't have. She said, "Oh, your mama had a glass casket." She said, "I want my mama to have a glass casket too." I said, "Okay." And she had $20,000. She said, "I'm willing to spend all this so my mama can have a glass casket." And I said to her, I said, "Okay, I need to get your address and everything." And she said, I said, "Where do you live?" She said, "On Brazier Drive." I said, "You live in Roger Williams?" She said, "I live in Roger Williams." And she said, "We're going to have a blast for my mother. We're going to spend this $20,000 on my mama." Okay. I gave her what she wanted. Before I sold her what she wanted, I told her, I said, "You really need to think this over." And the next week after we buried her mother, guess what? Her lights was turned off. Yeah. She didn't have money. You see this all the time.
Yeah, boy.
You know, her lights was turned off. She came down to me and she said, "Oh, Bishop, I'm having a hard time. You know, we was using my mama's check. Now my mama dead, and they've turned my lights off." I said, "You had enough money to live a little while on, but you wanted a show." A lot of times people use funerals for a show. Okay. You know, and it's bad to say that. It is. You know, you can't afford something. You go and buy it. And then you have to suffer the consequences after. My mama deserved the best, but the best you give your mama is when she's alive. Okay. When you can help her. The best you can give your loved one is when they're alive and they need somebody to give them a drink of water. Okay. Because after death, there's nothing you can do to help someone. After death, there's nothing you can do. So what I want you to do today is to consider that. If you want to counsel, you want counseling, call me at 457-6440, and I'll talk with you. Everybody know Bishop Woods and Mobile. I'll work with families. I'll try to help families. It's not all about money for me. In our community, in Mobile and surrounding counties, we couldn't buy a lot of insurance. We had to buy nickel and dime insurance, they called it. We had to buy street insurance. My mama had 8 children, so she couldn't buy a $10,000 policy on each one of us. So she bought the little nickel and dime insurance. And at death, you didn't have enough. All right, so call me at 457-6440.
We got something else we want to show you. We've got an anniversary. Tell them about it.
My 50th year preaching anniversary is going to be on April the 29th at the Colonnade Room on Wilson Avenue. My banquet is going to be held there. And on the 4th Sunday in May at 3 p.m. at the Prayer Tabernacle Church at 1223 Mobile, I'll be celebrating 50 years preaching the gospel and 16 years pastoring at the Prayer Tabernacle Early Church of Jesus Christ. Come out. Get a ticket from us. The ticket's only $35. That's your complete meal and everything. So call us and get a ticket from it. Come on, look out for Bishop.
All right. Jazzy Red, I'll see you at the anniversary. Peace out.
Me and my friend was discussing something about HIV and AIDS. We were just saying that the youth are becoming infected because they're not afraid. Do you see this? These are my pills, Truvada, Norvir, and Persista. I have to take these every day. If I can go one day without taking this medication, honestly, I'll be the happiest female on earth. It doesn't matter if I party all night, drink till the sun comes up. I have to take these. And I have to keep these down. Okay? The schools won't let us into the schools. They want to keep sex out. But keep in mind, 67% of our youth have already had sex by the time they're 16. And not only that, but ages 13 to 29 are accounting for the majority of the infection. And our females also, through heterosexual contact, is a majority of the new HIV infection rates. Parents, you have to speak to your children about this disease. You have to let them know it's real. You don't want your child to be sick and in the hospital ready to die. You want to be able to protect them now before they even have it. Give them the information they need to go out into the world. If they're positive, to remain healthy and not pass it on. And if they're negative, to stay negative. And to know what they need to do to stop this. Because nobody wants to feed their child medicine for the rest of their life. Understand, if I miss my medicine one time in a month, I can lose this whole regimen. There are not a lot of HIV regimens out there, because one of these pills can be attached to another regimen, which means if I lose this pill, I lose any regimen that has this pill or these ingredients in it. So I have to make sure that I take these medicines and that I stay on top of these medicines so that I do not lose my regimens, and so that I can continue to be HIV undetectable. Okay? Because anybody who's HIV positive does not want to acquire AIDS. You want to be undetectable. You want to be able to have that low risk of transmission. So at the end of the day, if they won't let us into the school to speak, you speak to your child. You show your child this video. You be the pillar for your home to let your children know that you want them to be not only safe and healthy, but empowered as well. So you have to do this for your family. You have to make sure that your children, your sisters, your brothers know. Because my sister is just 13, and 13 is the beginning age of where our new rate or high rates of new infections are coming from. That means my sister at just the age of 13 can go out and have sex and be HIV positive. And that comes from our kids being vaccinated with older, better, nicer. Okay? So they're meeting these older people, these people that are not telling anybody because they're ashamed and they don't want anybody to know they're positive. They want to continue to live this normal life. Keep in mind, me, I live a normal life, sweetie. I do everything anybody else do. I club, I party, I have the time of my life. I enjoy my life. I work, I pay bills. I don't sit around and wait on disability check. I do what I have to do for me and my family. You can live a normal life with HIV and AIDS. But why live a normal life with HIV or AIDS when you can be negative? You understand what I'm saying? So, it's either this for the rest of your life, or you get it together and do what you need to do. Wear a condom. Don't share needles. Don't breastfeed your children if you're HIV positive. I have a bulk load of information that I can provide to so many people. Understand that, okay? And let's keep the negative and the positive healthy.
forth.